Happy Mother's Day to all mothers all over the world, wherever Mother's Day is being celebrated today, Sunday, May 9th, 2010. And on that note, we begin our broadcast and quickly take you to Kenya, where through Yahoo News and AFP, we inform you now that a prosecutor from the International Criminal Court at The Hague has arrived in Nairobi with a mandate to investigate the post-election violence that occurred in Kenya after the December 27, 2007 elections. These investigations are expected to lead to charges against the major planners of the violence, according to the report. The prosecutor, Luis Moreno Ocampo, said the investigations and subsequent prosecutions is expected to send strong signals all across Africa that all those who foment trouble during or following elections will be dealt with according to the International Criminal Court standards. From Kenya, we go off to Tanzania, where the World Economic Forum on Africa is taking place, and we gather through Tanzania Daily News that the South African Finance Minister, Previan Gordhan, declared that Africa loses up to $400 billion annually from corporations that evade paying taxes and at the same time end up declaring super profits in their home countries. Well, some multinationals at the conference fired back with reasons disputing that assertion. From Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and to Nigeria we go. You know by now that the president, Mr. Yar'Adua, has passed on to the great beyond. You also know that the acting president and former vice president, Goodluck Jonathan, has been sworn in as the president. But did you know that efforts are intensifying in choosing the vice president to Dr. Jonathan? Did you also know that according to BBC, one of the names being mentioned or speculated on is the one-time head of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Nuhu Ribadu? Well, did you also know that according to BBC, the anti-corruption case against Nuhu Ribadu has been dropped totally? According to BBC News, he has been living in the USA in voluntary exile. Still on Nigeria, The Economist has a headline in the current issue on economist.com, and it reads, "The death of Nigeria's president. So, who will really take charge?" Amongst other things, the article points out, in quotes, "To the horror of many Nigerians, Ibrahim Babangida, a former military ruler, has also expressed an interest in the PDP ticket for the presidency of Nigeria for the 2011 elections." The other names mentioned in the article, such as Aliyu Gusau, the current National Security Advisor to Dr. Jonathan. Back to finances and the IMF. There is a press from the IMF Executive Board. That is press release number 10-185, dated May 7, 2010. The IMF Executive Board has approved credit facility of $33.3 million and an additional $1.5 million for Guinea-Bissau under the IMF Heavily Indebted Poor Countries Initiative, HIPC. The press release indicates that this is to support Guinea-Bissau's medium-term economic program. The chairman of the board, Mr. Murilo Portugal, hopes the facility will help Guinea-Bissau manage its debt better. Today, we will end with this news from the United Nations about the deadly attack that led to the death of 2 peacekeepers in Darfur, Sudan. This has alarmed the Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. According to the report, the Secretary General has called on the government of Sudan to ensure that the perpetrators are caught and that justice is done in this case. Ladies and gentlemen, that's where we end today's updates, and remind you to please visit our website www.africanewsupdates.net for more in-depth updates regarding these and many more newsworthy items. Thank you.